Agastya and Madhuja, what inspired you to build this AI chatbot in the first place?
So around November 2023, I think three key moments happened. First was that OpenAI came out with their keynote where they unveiled new AI-based experiences that you can use for building, not just for enterprises, but even like users and developers and consumers can kind of experience what's in store. Secondly, ACKO was also hosting its annual hackathon. And thirdly, I happened to bump into Madhuja in the hallway, and we kind of realized that most of what, not just in insurance, but in e-commerce in general, the playbook has kind of run dry. Like there's not much juice to squeeze out in roadmaps, and what's a way to kind of see what's happening around us in the world and bring that to flavor in some sense. So we wanted to kind of reimagine what, not just insurance, but even what e-commerce can look and feel like. And that's kind of where we came out with a hackathon idea to bring out some conversational AI into the playing field.
After me and Agastya discussed, we quickly realized that AI can be used not as a supplementary but as a complementary feature with the UI. So AI as a UI became a strong motivation for us. Through that, we reimagined how a normal buying experience should look like. It can be more personalized, more widget-based, and more multi-modal, where we can show both images, audios, and videos for the user, and it can be very personalized to them.
So Madhuja, what technologies and frameworks did you use to build this AI chatbot?
We initially started using LangChain, which is an open source framework to build AI application. But we quickly realized that we did not want to deal with all the abstractions that it comes up with. So in-house, we started building our own agentic framework as well as RAG pipelines to do this. Along with it, we also had to build a lot of internal tools to help us build the chat.
How do you train or fine-tune this AI chatbot to answer ACKO specific questions for the customer?
We actually don't train this AI models. We use large language models, which are capable enough of doing various kinds of tasks. Like it's also good at answering basic questions and answers if you provide the context to it. So what we do is we feed our enterprise knowledge and our SOPs in the form of context using these RAG pipelines to this chatbot. So in this way, the chatbot is able to ground the answers for the company and according to the enterprise knowledge.
So Agastya, insurance being a very sensitive topic for our customers, how do you ensure that the chatbot is providing answers which are both reliable as well as ethical?
Got it. There are a few techniques and tactics I think we utilize to make sure that our answers come out well. So I think firstly, we do quite a bit of grounding in terms of not just enterprise data, which is ACKO knowledge and Indian insurance industry knowledge on what the right answers are for when users interacting with us conversationally, but also we have a culture of dog fooding internally, and we try to also kind of keep some guardrailing around the internet searches that kind of infuse or inform those answers. We also tactically kind of use a critic AI in our everyday responses, where it kind of fact checks and intervenes if it feels like an answer is going to come out incorrectly, and that's when it actually asks or requests the user to upgrade to a call rather than give out something incorrectly. Lastly, I also feel, and very counterintuitively, a lot of customers feel like they don't really care if they're speaking to a bot or a human. All they care about is that they get the right answers to their queries. And we found that that divide really doesn't exist for them. So that's also been a learning for us in terms of portraying ourselves or kind of helping users find their answers and buying from us.
So it is very interesting how you mentioned that AI is testing what their response is. So it's pretty cool that way. Yeah. So Agastya, how has this AI chatbot helped in getting some business outcomes?
Sure. So I think one of the things we noticed when deploying and then kind of looking at the early consumer behavior, we definitely expected there to be some reduction in the overall call volumes, since now you've activated an entire cohort of users who don't want to be spammed over call, and they just prefer to passively communicate with the business or the product they want to purchase or interact with, right? I think the interesting, like the counterintuitive outcome again for us was that although call volumes are reducing, we didn't see a dip in conversions anywhere per se. In fact, we saw an uplift by at least like 10 to 15 percentage points roughly in some of our key flows and journeys across health insurance or auto insurance. So, yeah.
Interesting. So, do you have any hypothesis why the conversion is increasing? Why you were sort of focused on reducing call volumes, but you mentioned the conversion is increasing as well. So, any sort of hypothesis on that?
Yeah, it's very interesting. When we looked at the data, we realized that although the number of users kind of asking for a call reduced, the overall assistance base, right? Like the overall number of people looking for help or any kind of information from us increased because you now allowing users to interact with you on chat without like this whole high attention. Like I think there's a little bit of consumer anxiety around getting spammed on calls. You don't have that happening over a conversation interface, right? So I think what we noticed was that just by the virtue of having an expanded base of people interacting with us, they seem to show a slightly higher intent or a conversion uplift to being warmed up to our products and then finally coming through and even purchasing them. So yeah.
Got it. So customers really like the self-serve sort of an experience where they don't really have to talk to anybody and they can just manage things on their own.
Absolutely. So I think what's helped users here is it's become a bit more fluid because in the course of a conversation you might either come through on a very different question which you can either ask on the go, and if you feel like, hey, you know what, maybe I want to speak to someone to kind of delve a little deeper, that can happen too. So I think if we look at how users behave with our bot, we kind of also progressed into this whole UI treatment and design of, hey, if we know that a user repeatedly wants something, give them the action on the button. So that's kind of played out in terms of suggestion pills that come towards the bottom or even like the call button itself. And that's kind of expanded and hit through on our initial hypothesis, and it's giving us the uplift I think we're seeing so far, which are exciting.
So Madhurja, what advice would you want to give to teams which are building their first AI product?
Personally, I use Twitter threads and Reddit forums to keep up with this growing field. But there are also a lot of good and free resources available on YouTube. For in-house teams who are planning to build AI application, it's very important to iterate fast, unlike like having regular sprints, and also like build this application while thinking from a first principle perspective.
So Agastya, how do you see AI evolving in the insurance sector in the next 3 to 5 years? You have worked on building this chatbot, but what are the additional use cases that you see sort of where AI can play a major role?
So I think at least right now AI is still in a very nascent space in terms of how people productionize it. So most of the, at least for consumer facing companies like ours, one of the initial deployments are of course towards users. And I personally, like my read on it is that most of it will be commoditized in terms of experiences. You'll always have third-party players who might do as good a job in terms of like showcasing these conversational flows to users. So at least in the conversational space, what I see is AI is still developing at a very rapid pace, and most of the deployments are actually consumer-facing, right? My read on it from a very post-AGI economics perspective is both the experiences as well as the costs for like reaching out and kind of speaking to end consumers, whether it's multimodal or textual, is going to go down and be standardized. In fact, even third-party players will offer it. They've started offering it. My sense is the real juice in like 3 to 5 years' time will come from how well you allow decisions to be taken in an enterprise or like in a company like ours, and that can actually flow through both in terms of adjudication, which is like when medical underwriters or the claims folks actually take a decision on whether should this claim go through or should this person be allowed to buy insurance from us or not. I think those decisions will kind of see more of these multi-agentic workflows kind of come through, both in terms of reflection and acting, and kind of making that decision process transparent to folks who are inside the organization. And yeah, I think that's kind of where the next wave of growth will come in. It won't be super visible, but it will be super effective, is my sense.
At ACKO, we have already started using these AI-based code editors like Cursor and Copilot. Also, in our day-to-day workflows, our product team has also incorporated OpenAI's deep research to create PRDs in a very efficient manner. And also from a developer perspective, for us, it has become very easy for us to create wireframes on the fly and to ideate and iterate really fast.